Hey friends, happy Friday evening. It is Melissa from Junk and Craft Treasures on the Essential Stencil page. So I have a piece of wood right here that Terry cut. We drilled some holes, or I say he. Since I got released from wound care today, he's like, we're not having any accidents. I'm gonna drill those holes for you. So he drilled those for me. It is, I wanna say it's a 16 by 8. I am gonna go ahead, y'all, I'm gonna use my Valspar Antique and Glaze. You could use a walnut water-based stain. I think it's called Jacobean. It's pretty close to this when you're using it as a stain color. I am almost out of this one, so I am just gonna see what we can get out of it and what we can use from it. So, okay, so we've got our board stain prepped, however you want to say it. This is Valspar Antique and Glaze that I use, but it's no longer available, so I recommended a dark walnut, or I think it's called Jacob bean, something like that. They're pretty similar when you use them as a stain. All right, guys, so we're going to take our first layer, which is this right here, which is our snowman outline. Okay, I'm going to tape it right there. Okay, so what I was saying, to not get that bleed, sometimes I have to think to myself, y'all, to not get that bleed, I kind of start in the middle, okay, and then I'll work out to the sides. So we're going to start that swirling motion in the middle, and then I'll just kind of bring it to the sides, and I'll hold this down, and then I'll pull from the middle. We're going to let that dry. It's not dry yet, so it kind of looks like it's blotchy, but it's still drying. So let's get that dry. Okay, so now we're going to do our little hands and our mittens, and we've got the little we're going to call them little indentations right here, so we can align this up on both sides for our hands and our mittens, okay? So I'm going to do the same thing I just did. I shouldn't have thrown that tape away. I don't know what I did with that tape. I'm just going to take a little bit of tape, and I'm going to put it down so it holds it. Now, since I have this wood surface, and if I do a set of dark hands or twigs for the arms, we're not going to see them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly put a little coat of white underneath it to help that pop, okay? So I'm just going to very, very lightly, and you'll maybe be able to see it. It's going to look like a little snow dusting. I'm just going to put this down, and I'm not doing solid white. The reason being, if I do solid white and I move my stencil at any point when I go to put that other paint on here and pick it up, you can see that. So it's just a very light dusting of that white. And I'm going to use, y'all, I hope I have enough black. I didn't even think about that. My black is on order. It's not here yet. My paint jar may make some weird noises. And we're going to do some gold or marigold mustard color mittens on this one. But you know what? That's okay. See how I'm just adding a little bit more white right there? And that's going to help that pop a little bit more now that we've got base color down. See, so now we have both of our little branches connected to our mittens. I'm going to do my favorite cranberry red. You see how it just fits right there in the hands. Love this. So I'm kind of working down and up. You could work however. Now, you'll see what I did on this one. I actually colored in those circles, which isn't hard, but I made it harder than it should have been. But again, with this particular stencil, I want the lines to have another color, if that makes sense. So I'm going to show you kind of how, and that one's going to go off. So this one's going to fit. So we're going to have to do this one again just because of the size of my board. So I'll show you how I did it. So we're going to line that up, and we'll do the same color scarf we did because we've already got it out. All right, so we are going to come through and stencil this on. I'm going to bring this like right here. Let me find, because I'm just that person. I don't want my bridges to show on this particular scarf, and I don't want to color them in per se. So, but you can leave it like this. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just showing you how to go. It's just that extra little step here. That. Bring that up here just a little bit. I still think I want to put some blue in there. Still think that's what I want to do. I'm going to line that up right there. Come through. Just put a little white down. I did put my hat down a little bit lower than before, but that'll be fine. see, I'm only have to do 1 coat of black. So it's like we would have probably had to do 3 coats of black. So let's just kind of cut down. So we've got that hat filled in completely now. So we're gonna do our eyes. And I'm gonna add a good amount of that orange on my blue, just because it's small, and that's the only place I'm using orange. I put my paint down to hold my stencil down while I was getting my orange, and then I'm just gonna ever so slightly offload. And I know you're thinking, well, that blue is gonna show up. It is, but it's just not gonna be a bright orange. It's still gonna be orange, it's just not gonna be that bright orange. Okay, are we out of that color? Pretty close. We'll see if we can't. See if we can't make it work. If not, we'll get some more. I'm okay with it. Makes it unique, right, y'all? Okay, so I made a really rough bow at the moment, but that's what rag bows are for, so we can go back and fix it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on the wire, and then I'm gonna put this on, and then I'm gonna put my snowflakes on. So actually, I'm gonna go ahead and put my snowflakes on. I almost forgot about the snowflakes, y'all. You're the only one that sees those little imperfections that really aren't imperfections. Throw our brush around, right, y'all? Okay. So we just added some snowflakes on there, kind of filling in that white space just a little bit. I'm gonna grab some wire while that's still heating up. This is 16-inch gauge. It is like a, I don't wanna say bronze, but it's kind of a bronze color. It's not black. And then we can hang it up here. You can choose your length. Like I said, you can figure out how you wanna do the top. So cute. And like I said, we can add, now that we have that down and know where everything lays, let's go ahead and add a couple little snowflakes here and there, like up here in that corner. Just gonna add a little one right there, maybe a little one right here, and I think I'm good. Let one right here. I'm done, y'all. I'm done. Anyway, isn't that cute, y'all? I think it's super cute. And like I said, with all the components, you can style it whatever colors you want. If you want the heart, the star, if you want to do the holly up here, if you want to do a star up here, your snowflakes, you can put them however you want, wherever you want, guys. I'll see y'all in 2 weeks from tonight, guys. Y'all be blessed. Bye.